Hello, everybody. I am so excited because we are doing main character coaching today, which has quickly become one of my favorite things to do is to go live with these guests and coach them in the moment and just have so much fun together doing that. I'm so excited to bring this guest forward today because she is actually a former client of mine and she's a beast, and I really respect her work. I respect what she stands for, and I love her as a human being. Before I let her in, so she's here and she's ready to go. So before I let her in, I did just want to call out that there is I don't know what you want to call it. I'm calling it Inside the Takeover. So it's going to be like an information session on the Takeover Mastermind, which is my 6-month container. It's insanely powerful. You definitely want to come to this info session where I describe everything about the takeover. And if you've been even like slightly interested, you've been on the fence, you want to come to this call because I am going to be talking about what's coming, which is not only an investment increase, but all of the things that I'm going to be putting inside of the takeover and putting into the takeover literally before the year ends. So you want to come to this call. If you've been on the fence, this is going to be the time for you to basically make the decision, make the move, and again, you can just come and learn about it. And if it's not for you, that's cool too. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but again, you want to come to that call. The link is currently in my stories, but if you want the link, you can DM me and I can send it straight to you so that you can join that call. It's going to be on Tuesday of next week. All right, I'm going to bring forward our guest. Here we go. Hopefully this is going to work. There we go. Hi.
Hello.
How are you? I miss
I,
you.
I know I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good too. How's life?
It's really good. I am in such like a beautiful place right now, and it is just like so incredible to actually be in a place where I love my life, to be honest.
Hell yes. I am so happy to hear that. I love that so much. And I'm
Thank
happy. I really miss seeing you. I feel like
I'm seeing you.
I doing all the things, and I read your application. Like, you're a speaker now. And I'm like, holy shit, like you're hosting
Yep.
events, all these things. Like, I'm so proud of you. For anyone who's listening, Lauren and we worked together for a while, and then she went and she kind of like took her business and her ideas by the horns, and she went after it, and she joined some other courses, she invested in some other mentors, and she's just doing the damn thing and out there just making moves. And I'm excited to be able to like reconnect with you and help out and see where we can make some momentum happen here.
Yeah.
So
Because like
before
for me, like the content I know. Like I know emotional regulation. I can talk about this all day, but I feel like my struggle again, which is your area of expertise, is the social media piece of getting people in and actually being able to want to watch my videos to get the content.
Yeah, totally. Karina says big go-getter energy. I love it. Hell yeah. She definitely has that. Okay, so let's back up like a couple steps.
Sure.
Can you introduce yourself to the people listening and tell them like who you are, where you're from, and what you do in your business?
Yeah. So I'm Lauren. I am a social worker, a master Reiki practitioner, and turn up dance fitness instructor, all of the fun things. So for my first 5 years of my career as a social worker, I worked in high schools, which I really loved. And a big part of that job was working in special ed, crisis, and teaching social emotional curriculum to students to help them learn how to regulate their emotions and what to do with them. And what I was finding was students were able to do their emotional regulation with me and utilize the skills at school, and then when they got home their parents had no idea what was going on, and then it was kind of inconsistent. So my goal with my current business right now is to create courses, like 12-week courses, so that adults are able to tap in and learn about emotional regulation, not just for themselves but also learn to be able to support their kids with it. Because like so much because emotions are uncomfortable if you're not used to feeling them, and if your support person isn't used to feeling them either, they're not going to have an effective way to help you deal with them. So it's learning to understand what your emotions are, what they mean, and then what you can do with them. And that is what I want to do, is help everybody be able to do that in a space that is safe and in a space where they feel like they can build towards it.
Heck yeah. Okay. Very important work. Very, very much needed.
Love.
So I highly respect that. And I can't wait to like go through some of these things. But first, I do want to mention like you came through back when I had online course creator. And I'm laughing not because of like I loved that experience. I went through launching that course like six, maybe seven times. And you were in I one of the final cohorts. The reason that I laugh is because I mean, you and I we've known each other for a while now. Like
Yeah.
the rapid change in my brand has been crazy. So I would never name something online course creator to this
Right.
day. But I do remember it was your specific cohort actually that I got to this point where, and again, online course creator teaches obviously women how to create courses.
Mhm.
But I remember I got to this point where we would get on the live calls and I was like, F all this. I'm just going to dive into content with these women. Like we're just going to go full blown. Like let's talk about content because I was noticing such a block for your group of women. And I
Yeah.
love that group like so much.
Oh my God.
Like
I
became
talk to multiple of those women very regularly.
Oh, I love that so much. I know. I like think back to that. I'm like, we would like spend Wednesday nights together and it was just like so fun.
Yeah.
But it was a breakthrough moment for me. And again, this is not about me. This is gonna be about you. I'll get to you very quickly. But it was a breakthrough moment because I was like, I love talking about content in the like on the journey of building a business. So that's now basically like the major massive through point of what I coach. And I know you had messaged me. So for those listening, anyone who is a guest on main character coaching, they fill out a form and I collect basically where they're at in business, what they think their gaps are, which I think is very interesting because I read what you put for your gaps and I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's really what the gap is, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
And they fill out this form. However, I know you messaged me and you were like, I can't even remember what I put on my form. I want to talk about this and this. So I want to talk about whatever feels most important to you. Before we get to that piece, because I know you joined another mentor's course to like get certifications because again, if you think about Lauren and her world, it is very much a sensitive topic
Mhm.
of what she's coaching through, mentoring through. She's also a trained professional. So she went to another mentor who had proven knowledge and experience in like liability, basically. So have you launched any courses yet up to this point?
No, not yet. So
Okay.
what we've done so far, the way that this course is having us kind of do things is create like a private Facebook group and doing lives in their little trainings and things like that. So I just literally did my training at 1 o'clock. So
Yay.
and it was so fun. But yeah, so now I'm at the point where I'm starting to like get wanting to build connections on social media to try to get those people in so that
Mm-hmm.
when I launch, I mean, sure, it inevitably could flop, but ideally, I'd like to have people that are like very excited and already interested in what I'm saying.
Okay. I have so many angles that I could go with this, and I'm sure you know that from being on calls
Yeah,
with me. I
yeah,
could talk forever. You're also really fun to coach. I feel like you're always you're easy, you're coachable, first of all, but you are excited about your business, and I can just hear it in your voice and the enthusiasm and the passion and the obsession that you have for your mission is like that. That's the one thing I can't coach people on. So I always fully enjoy talking to you because that is innate for you. So thank you for that piece, that
thank you.
part of it. It's really fun. I want to first start with like, and I already know this about you, but you are, for lack of a better word, like terrified to flop a launch. Like
I am.
you are very afraid that the word flop, which I also think is an interesting word, you are very afraid that that's going to be your reality. So you have had this idea of launching a course now for over a year
Mm-hmm.
and it hasn't happened and you keep putting yourself in spaces where you think you need to learn strategy and understand how to like you in your own words you just said get people invested, get them ready to buy, and you've spent a year doing this. How many people, just on average, just a guess, do you have in your Facebook group?
I just started the Facebook group a few weeks ago, so I have about 30 people in it. So not
Girl,
tons yet, but we're
I
getting.
am sorry. I am like, excuse me, first of all, congratulations. That's freaking dope. But also, you have 30 people in your Facebook group. And I'm just going to say, like, people aren't joining Facebook groups these days. Like that's not like people aren't going to just join any group. They're not going to join just any community. They're joining your Facebook community not because of your messaging, not because of your hooks, not because of you have this product. They're joining because of you. They like what you have been posting. So I know that you think that like you even put this in your application like content feels hard for you,
Mhm.
you're clearly doing something right already. And so I need to put that out there and I need you to like start to kind of wrap your mind around that and wrap your heart around that because if this is I don't care how long it's been. You have 30 people in this Facebook group because they want more of you. They want closeness to you. They want that proximity to you. You're doing something right. So I think part of this, which I find very interesting in a lot of my clients, is there's somewhere along the lines that you in your day to day or in your week to week that you look at something outside of yourself and you compare and you think that you're not where you're supposed to be with content. Do you know what that is?
I just, in some ways, yes. Like I feel I don't know, like again, I know what I want to say, but it's about like getting people to want to hear. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because now when you're saying this out loud, I'm like, they do want to hear. Like they're joining you, dude. Like they're getting into your world. How are you inviting them into this Facebook group? Like how have you gotten 30 people in? Like what are the methods there?
So I'm posting on like my Instagram stories, my TikTok, on Facebook, and then from there, like posting the link, and posting about like I'm having this free training coming up in my group. Here's the link, and then
Ama-
people are joining like that.
Amazing. I love this strategy. And do you have a name for your Facebook group?
Yes,
What is it?
it is the emotional regulation reset for women who give too much.
Ooh, okay, cool. So first thing that I notice, and I want to call this out for the audience just so that everyone can take something away, you're already treating your free Facebook group like a paid offer, which is major key alert. So you're doing great. You're treating it as if people are paying you to be there. You
Mhm.
have a title, you have a vibe, you have an energy to this offer, if you will. You're building community in there. You're going in there and you're adding value. Like you're treating it like a paid offer, which is huge. And then you're also, it sounds like consistently inviting, and you have 30 ish, soon to be hundreds of people. I truly
I
believe
hope,
the
I
group.
hope so.
And so now when it comes to like the launching of the program,
Mhm.
what's standing in your way there? Like you mentioned that you feel like people aren't ready, but like I to me I'm like you have proof that they are. So what's actually standing?
Um, so again, there's always that piece of fear, but also that to me has shifted quite a bit since we've last worked together. Like over the summer, I've been to this space of like, Lauren, you're going to fail like 7,000 times. So like, let's just start knocking them out and like just getting closer.
Yeah.
And I'm also in this space of like, it's not going to be perfect the first time.
Hmm.
You are going to change this a million times. So let's just do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say something with so much love. You know that I love you.
Please
I would argue that, well, first and foremost, there's no such thing as a flopped launch. Like there is in terms of like getting zero people in, that's okay. That's not a failure.
do. Mhm.
I say this with love. I would say the failure right now is your procrastination of not making it exist. That is a failure. And that is one that is detrimental to what you want to build.
Mhm.
So if you're looking at this and you're so afraid of failure, I need you to look at this and actually realize that you continuously putting this off, that is the biggest failure here. I would love for you to go fall flat on your face 87 times.
Okay.
That's honestly the goal. Go do it. Go put yourself out there. Go take as many risks as you can. And call it a flop, call it a failure if you want to. There's no stopping someone who can't be stopped. There's no stopping someone who continuously pushes forward and moves forward. And it's almost like you're a little bit you're sabotaging yourself a little bit because you have all of the tools at
Hmm.
this. You have people that are cheering for you. You have a community that you're building. You know what you're doing in your content. Yes, everyone can get better in their content. I can get better in my content. That's never going to end.
Okay.
There's nothing standing in your way. You know, like you mentioned, like, I mean, I would never question your ability to deliver the information that you're about to deliver, ever. I've listened to you, I've watched you in your own content. Like, you are a master at that curriculum. So at this point, it's like the only thing stopping you is you. And that's crazy.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pause. Tell me
Okay.
your
So
feelings about
I
that.
think too, one of the biggest things I've learned in the past year, and especially the past 3 months of really like honing in on this, is the amount of self healing that goes along with growing a business.
Oh,
And that was like more than I have ever. So I have grown more in the last 3 months than I have in years simply by trying to open this business. And so for me, it's really been finding a balance of like honoring, like, I'm healing and changing and growing and trying to do this at the same time. And so it's finding that space of allowing both to happen
mhm.
successfully without like losing my shit.
Yeah. I no one gets that more than someone else who's in business. Like, I totally get that. That's
Yeah.
why I think like people like us, we get addicted to this business because we know that it's going to come with massive growth and massive evolution, and we geek out on that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want a life where I'm just showing up and clocking in and clocking out. Like, I this business has completely up leveled me time and time again.
Yeah.
Um, and I am sure I trust that you have evolved so much. But even if you hadn't, you were amazing back when I was working with you, whatever, 6 months ago. Like, you wouldn't have mattered. I swear to you, and I think I told you this back then, you were ready then. Like,
Mhm.
and I understand the like healing alongside and like the focus on like I don't want to just lose my mind. I don't want to go insane, but perhaps that won't happen.
Hmm.
Perhaps if it does happen, that's what needs to happen.
Okay.
So you can't stay in this limbo anymore. And so I don't want to beat a dead horse. I feel like we got that. I feel like I know you heard me. I know you'll think about it, and I know that you will turn it into what you want to turn it into. I want to coach you through some content because I know that that was a question. So tell me thoughts about your content. What specific questions do you have, and how can I support you there?
Yeah, so with my content, like before you and I ever started working together, I was afraid to post anything and I rethought every single post that I did, all of the things, and I never posted. And then with you, I've gotten more consistent with posting and I've been trying to post a lot more. And then I was stuck, like when we were in OCC and when I started the takeover, I was stuck on like carousels because that's like all I would do. And now I am so comfortable doing like chit chat reels, which I never thought I would do. And so I feel like, I'm doing chit chat reels, but it's just starting, like they're all starting the same. And I'm not sure how to like hook people in on those to like get them to watch the whole thing or like how long they should be or if they should, all of that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and I can pull up your Instagram if needed, but what it do you like when you think about creating content for the day? First of all, are you posting every day, or like what's the cadence?
I'm trying to
Yeah,
at
multiple
least
times, but
four,
you
yeah, I'm trying 4 to 5 days a week, maybe sometimes a couple times a day, just kind of depending on what my day looks like.
for sure, for sure. And I'm never a person who's like every single day you have to post. Like, I truly, and you know that. Like, I
Yeah.
think the focus is on potency for sure. Um, when you think about going to create content, are you mostly doing just chit chat reels these days, or like what
Hmm.
is your that's what you go to?
Hmm.
What do you like about those? What feels good?
It feels like I get a chance to explain what's going on rather than just like giving a little blurb. Like I get to go a little bit more in depth, and I feel like there's more information that I can share in a chit chat reel. And I think also too, one of the things is there's this better sense of connection with people in,
Okay.
with the chit chat reel.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I love a good chit chat reel for sure. Okay. So my other question is when it comes to your offer, when it comes to your course that you want, actually, let's do the Facebook group because
Okay.
that's most important. What would you, separate from content, what would you say is the reason why people need to come into your free Facebook group?
I would say the reason they need to come in is because it is a space for them to learn that the feelings that they're experiencing, how to experience them safely, what they mean. Our physical sensations provide us data and what to do with that data, and learn different ways to navigate that. And it is a way to help regulate us in the moment, learning regulation skills to utilize later, practicing them, all of the things so that when we're not living up here and
Mm-hmm.
do get up here, we have a plan on how to bring ourselves back down.
Okay.
And so those are the types of things I'm sharing on how to do all of those different things.
Okay. And this doesn't matter. I'm just curious as
Yeah.
do you have a certain demographic that you're calling in? I know it's for women. Is
Yeah.
it like, do they need to be mothers? Do they need to be of a certain age?
Not specifically, but my big idea was like women in helping professions, just because I did work in education for so long. And so much of that field, like teaching, nursing, all of that is so much giving that
Mm-hmm.
there's the often forgetting about themselves and not knowing how to take care of themselves and getting in a space of I have to take care of everybody else and I'm not on the same level as everybody else, so I don't get to take care of my all those things.
Okay, beautiful. That's exactly what I needed. I'm going to go to teachers because I think teachers are very easy right now for what you're serving. And I was a teacher, so it's easier for me
Yeah.
to kind of from that lens of knowing exactly what that is. And the first thing that comes to my mind is like there were multiple times I taught in Orlando, like just outside of Orlando, but it was like, kids are kids. I taught 13-year-olds and I loved those kids so much. I think that's another thing is like teachers love their kids. Like you can't argue that.
Yeah.
However, when I picture myself as a teacher and a kid throws a chair, for example, he gets mad at what I'm telling him to stop talking. He gets mad. Who knows what his morning looked like or what his night looked like? He throws a chair across my room and
Hmm.
I get hot from the inside out. My
Yeah.
face is hot. I want to quite literally take his head and like throw him somewhere and like freak out and rip my own hair out.
Yeah.
That's an experience for a teacher, and that happens within zero point 0.5 seconds.
Mhm.
What is the alternative to that, in your opinion?
The alternative to that is that's a natural, normal response when a situation like that happens. So the chair throwers, those were my babies. Those were my kids that I worked with. And so, yeah, for the teacher, it is natural that you're going to get up here. But the goal is for you to recognize that you're up here and not react in that moment, but find a way to say, yep, it is okay that I'm up here. This is appropriate to the setting. And I know ways to bring myself back down so that I remain the anchor while the kid's energy is up here.
Okay.
Because I always would remind people like an escalated adult is never going to be able to de-escalate an escalated child. You have to be the anchor
Facts, for
here.
sure.
And so it's teaching people how to recognize that they're up here, normalizing that they're up here, and that's okay. That is data telling me that there's something off, and then what I need to do about it to bring it back down so that I'm not up here with the kid.
Okay. So for your chit chat reels,
Mhm.
here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of situations just like I explained. And I want you to start off the chit chat reel with the problem.
Okay.
So you paint the picture and you speak directly to teachers and then you can move on to counselors, like whatever else situation. But there's 10,000 different scenarios that get me up here as a teacher, like you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
So your chit chat reels, you start with the problem and you say you are in the middle of teaching a lesson that is part of the standard curriculum. You need to deliver this lesson and you have to get it done in a certain amount of time. But
Mm-hmm.
you have Nathan in the center of the room who wasn't fed breakfast. So he's having a hard time focusing. And you tell him to pick his head up off the desk and it triggers him. And he tucks his chair across the room. Okay? You've just described the problem.
Okay.
That's that's the situation. And you've described it very specific.
Okay.
And it's also entertaining to listen to, especially if I'm another teacher and I'm like, oh, or I'm a mom and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, that might not be my classroom, but that's my home, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so you're describing that rich, very specific scenario. And then you go into describing who the person is that you're talking to before you get to the solution. So you go problem, now person. You are an amazing teacher. You have been a teacher for 5 years. You've won awards for your teaching.
Mm-hmm.
You show up to school early so that you can have your class clean and comfortable for your students. You care so much about these kids. You are not the type of teacher that can turn it off. Like you go home and you are thinking about how you can be better the next day. So
Mm-hmm.
you're calling in the person. Then you go into the solution. And instead of saying something like, you're up here, because that's your language, you need to speak the teacher's language.
Okay.
When you say things like your like emotional regulation, for example, when you say things like you're up here and we need to get you down here, that's language you provide when they get into your world because you can describe what that means. When you
Okay.
front facing marketing like content, you have to speak like you're a colleague of hers. So she's now in this situation because you've described it so specifically. She's like, yeah, dude, that literally happened to me yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also edifying her, you're empowering her, you're telling her how good she is at her job. So you're not leaving her in the pain. And then you go into the solution, which the solution is again, what and you know this, you're the expert, but take this and make it better. When this happens with Nathan, and again, name these kids, whatever. When this happens with Nathan and you get so frustrated that your face turns red and you feel like your blood is boiling and you feel like you not only want to cry, but you want to scream at the top of your lungs because you are trying to get through this lesson and you have 20 other kids in the room that you have to pay attention to. You have to really get present in recognizing that the heat from within your face is the signal for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
You teach to that. You teach to fit like note recognizing the art of noticing, like you call it.
Yeah.
You teach to that. So, and you can say that. You can say, this is what I call the art of noticing.
Okay.
That's the lesson. That's the chit chat reel. You're
Okay.
telling her to notice. Now she needs to know what to do after she notices. She needs
Mm-hmm.
to know what to do after she knows that she notices. And then what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
All of that she gets to learn in your Facebook group
Okay.
or in your course, whatever offer it is. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the point where you say, listen, I want you to work on being very hyper aware of what's going on physically in your body when you get to these moments of, I can't take it anymore. When
Mm-hmm.
these moments of like, you feel like you're going to blow up. All I want you to do is I want you to watch this reel and I want you to start noticing. And then I want you to join my Facebook group because I'm going to teach you how to not blow up after you notice.
Mm-hmm.
Here's,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay.
And so you're calling on them very specifically. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
Yeah. So the question of like the piece of like for like yes, we're noticing and then to like learn more, like join the Facebook group. Like is that in the chit chat reel? Is that in the comments?
Play around with it. I don't think there's a right or wrong. And I wouldn't say like learn more. I would come from a place of saying like I want to teach you and coach you and mentor you and guide you through how to again, I think this is your stance, not go to a place where those things don't happen because we're human. Like you're going to experience levels of emotion
Yeah.
going to appear physically for you. I want to teach you how to handle that so that your whole day doesn't get ruined just because Nathan threw a chair.
Mm-hmm.
I want to teach you how to first regulate yourself so that you can then be set the example for all the kids in the room watching you, waiting for you to react.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, like tell her like it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you care so much. So instead of, the goal is not come into my Facebook group. That's not the goal. The
Mm-hmm.
goal is I'm here to help you.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's where you, that's what you're coming from. Like you're not your goal is not to sell them those things. Getting her to the Facebook group, getting her to join your offer, that's going to happen as a natural byproduct when
Okay.
she feels that, the quote goes like, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mhm.
That's your main goal in your content.
Okay.
And so you're talking to her as if she's in that office with you on your couch. And again, I think a piece of this too, especially for a topic like yours, is the way that we just framed up that entire chit chat for you is, so it's simplified and it's rich in specificity and in storytelling and in the moment with her. But like, you're teaching her one thing, but you're not, it's not overwhelming. Like she's going to go into the rest of her day, and if something happens today or tomorrow or next week, it was so simple that she's going to think back to that and be like, "Oh, wow, I did get red. Like, oh, I did get hot. I noticed." And that's really cool because you left her with a quick win. Like you've made an
Mhm.
impact there.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. I
So
like
there's like,
specific, almost like a template of what the chit chat reel should look like. I love that.
yeah, and that's just for if we're talking like at, like directive at a specific person. That, I mean, there's multiple different ways of doing chit chat reels, of course, but that's like one way of doing it. And you, again, you can always flip it into first person. You can always say like, I remember in one moment in my office that I had with a client who um like spit on me. I don't know why that just came to
I
my
actually did have a student spit in my face. Oh yes, that is very real.
That's absolutely disgusting,
It
first of
was
all.
disgusting. Yeah, and it was yeah, lots of behavior and just
Holy
have to
moly. That's crazy.
for his reaction, right? So I have to like,
For sure.
yeah,
So that's a story that needs to be
yeah.
told. Do the same, you can apply that same framework that we just went
Okay,
through. Tell
okay,
the what happened, and then you go into like, I pride myself on like reacting uh peacefully.
hmm,
Like I pride myself on that. So that's your edifying section where this is who I am. I pride myself on that, and I've worked really hard on that, not even just in my practice, but in relationships. Like, and you can say that. And then you go into the solution of like, what I did in that moment was, I was like, okay, it's just spit, it's kid spit, it's not as gross as adult spit, like whatever you like, like whatever you got to do.
yeah.
um, but yeah, and so that's the content.
Okay, that makes so much sense.
Yay,
So
I'm
much
excited.
more sense.
That's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for applying and like coming on as a guest for main
Thank
care.
you.
I'm
Anytime.
so freaking proud of you, man. So proud of you.
You. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Because again, a year ago, like OCC was just starting, and I didn't even have any indication or glimpse that I could even create a course. And like now I'm in this a totally different place than I was last year, and it's so beautiful, and I'm so grateful.
I'm so grateful for you. I mean, and I think it's very cool that you just continue to like look for mentors and seek guidance, and you're learning and you're doing all the things. Like that is the mentality. Now just take it up a notch and throw
Okay.
your wolves. Like just jump
Okay.
off literally,
Okay.
and
Okay.
keep me posted. Literally keep me posted on all the things.
Okay. Thank you.
Love you so much,
Love
and
you.
have a really good week, and I'll plan on talking to you soon.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Chandler.
Bye, girl.
Bye.